You worry about a sudden, silent event, a heart attack, or a major stroke that could take away your independence, your memory, or even your life in a single moment. That fear is real, and it is justified. Here is the astonishing, yet rarely discussed, truth. For women over the age of 50, the risk of heart disease suddenly skyrockets, often surpassing the risk faced by men in the same age group within a decade. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirms that cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death for women in the United States, yet many of the 1.28 million cases of heart attack and stroke each year could be prevented simply by shifting our focus to the right foods. But here is the central paradox, the one that frustrates so many of my patients, women just like you. Most people don't know what to eat, how much to eat, or exactly when to eat certain things to truly protect their hearts and brains after the age of 50. The old advice about simply avoiding fat and salt is no longer enough. The mistake many make is focusing on the things they must give up, when the secret to long-term cardiac and cerebral health lies in what you must start adding to your life. It is about a proactive, powerful defense system built through the food choices you make every single day. Over the past 3 decades, both in my clinical practice and through reviewing over 250 of the most rigorous studies and the latest guidelines from trusted organizations like the American Heart Association, I have distilled this knowledge down to the 10 most essential, proven, and powerful foods that every woman over 50 must incorporate into her diet. These are not just health fads. These are the nutritional fortresses that not only support heart health but can actively reverse key risk factors like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and chronic inflammation when used consistently and properly. The shift is profound. When you choose these 10 foods, you are not just managing your health. You are building resistance. You are actively stepping in to stop the silent chain of events, the plaque buildup, the stiffening of arteries, the blood pressure surges that lead to heart attacks or strokes. If you want to stay healthy, sharp, and free from the paralyzing fear of a cardiac or cerebral event, if you want to look forward to the next 2 decades with confidence and vitality, then this video is your blueprint. I will show you exactly what each food does, the science behind it, and most importantly, how to use it. Let us get started right now with the first food, a food that targets the hidden root of so much age-related disease, the gut-brain-heart connection. Food 1. Fermented vegetables. The first food is perhaps the most fundamental. 2. Creating a strong defense system from the inside out, naturally fermented vegetables. This includes kimchi, traditional, unpasteurized sauerkraut, sour pickles, or any vegetable that has been fermented without being sterilized by heat. The mechanism here is deceptively simple but incredibly powerful. These foods directly influence the gut-brain-heart axis, which is the foundational system for healthy blood vessels and mental clarity in people over 50. After middle age, especially with increased stress, antibiotic use, or even just changes in diet, the diversity and balance of bacteria in our gut, known as the microbiome, often declines. This bacterial imbalance creates a low-level, systemic inflammation that science now confirms is a core driver of almost all age-related disease, including heart attack and stroke. This inflammation acts like sandpaper, silently damaging the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium. Once the endothelium is damaged, that is the literal starting point for problems. Bad cholesterol or LDL can stick to the vessel walls more easily, become oxidized, and begin to form the hardened plaques that restrict blood flow and lead to a crisis. Fermented vegetables are one of nature's best sources of powerful probiotics. They contain billions of beneficial bacteria that actively work to restore gut health and diversity. Once inside your body, these beneficial bacteria don't just sit there. They get to work metabolizing fiber and producing vital compounds called short-chain fatty acids, SCFAS, such as butyrate. SCFAS are game changers. They are a primary fuel source for the cells lining your gut, which helps seal the gut barrier and prevents inflammatory particles from leaking into the bloodstream. They also travel throughout the body, helping to reduce inflammation, subtly relax blood vessels, and most importantly for those concerned with metabolic health, improve how your body handles and processes sugar. These 3 actions, reducing inflammation, improving vascular tone, and stabilizing metabolism, are the triple threat against heart attack and stroke. A robust 2021 study published in Hypertension Research demonstrated the tangible results of this mechanism. It showed that individuals who made fermented vegetables a staple of their diet, consuming them at least 3 times a week, enjoyed a significant 27% lower risk of high blood pressure and a 21% lower risk of overall heart-related issues compared to those who did not. Let me share the story of Mrs. Jeanette, a 69-year-old retired school administrator from North Carolina. She had been dealing with persistent stage 1 high blood pressure that her doctor struggled to stabilize, along with nagging digestive issues. She told me she felt a constant, underlying sense of anxiety. Instead of adding a third blood pressure medication, she decided to focus on her gut. Every afternoon, she began adding just one heaping tablespoon of raw, traditional German sauerkraut to her vegetable salad. After about 10 weeks, her blood pressure readings at home consistently moved from the worrying 142/88 range down to a much safer 128/78. She also reported that the chronic bloating she had lived with 4 years disappeared. Her most memorable comment was, "Dr. Miles, I no longer wake up at night with my heart doing that little anxious flutter. It's like my whole system has calmed down and finally reset itself." Fermented vegetables are not a quick fix that happens overnight. They require consistency. Just 1 to 2 spoonfuls daily is all your body needs to actively suppress inflammation and support the natural systems that protect your blood vessels and your peace of mind. Your body does not need a large amount, just the right amount consistently. By making this small addition, you are actively stepping in to stop the chain of events that often silently leads to strokes and heart attacks, starting deep within your core. Food 2. Berries. The second food that every woman over 50 should be adding to her daily routine is the vibrant group of berries. This category includes mulberries, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries. They are small, slightly sweet, and incredibly easy to eat, making them a perfect addition to any breakfast or snack. But their importance is not about convenience or taste. It is about their unparalleled ability to protect your entire circulatory system, especially the tiny, vulnerable blood vessels in your brain. Berries are exceptionally high in a specific class of antioxidants called anthocyanins and polyphenols. These are the compounds responsible for their deep red, purple, and blue colors, and they act as a natural, microscopic defense force inside your body. Their primary role is to fight off harmful free radicals and reduce oxidative stress. The metabolic rust that prematurely damages blood vessel walls, creates plaque buildup in the arteries, and causes brain cells to age faster. In essence, berries are a natural shield that protects the delicate capillaries and arteries in your heart and brain from silent, long-term damage. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from the long-term nurses' health study conducted by Harvard Medical School. This research followed tens of thousands of women for over 20 years and revealed that women who consumed at least 3 servings of berries a week had a significant 32% lower risk of heart attack. This is an astonishing reduction tied to such a simple dietary change. Furthermore, the polyphenols in berries do crucial work for the brain. They have been shown to directly improve blood flow to the cerebral tissues, enhance communication between brain cells, and actively slow down memory loss in older adults. For women concerned about maintaining cognitive sharpness alongside heart health, berries offer a dual benefit that few other foods can match. Crucially, berries also have a lower glycemic load compared to many other fruits. They are packed with fiber, which slows down the absorption of their natural sugars. This means you can enjoy their sweetness without worrying about the sudden blood sugar spikes that create stress on your blood vessels and pancreas, a vital consideration for anyone over 50, especially those with early signs of metabolic syndrome or diabetes. I recall the case of Mrs. Sylvia, a 71-year-old from Florida, who came to me with concerns about what she called senior moments, forgetting words mid-sentence and feeling mentally foggy, particularly after a stressful month. Following my advice, she began adding 3/4 of a cup of mixed frozen berries to her morning Greek yogurt and flaxseed every day. After just 2 months, her daughter called me to say that Mrs. Sylvia was not only more mentally clear but had stopped asking her to repeat things. Moreover, her subsequent physical showed that her blood pressure and blood sugar levels had both stabilized into a much safer, tighter range, reducing her overall cardiovascular risk without needing additional medication. Berries are not merely a healthy, enjoyable snack. They are powerful, targeted medicine in food form. They are one of the best defenses you can choose to protect the inside lining of your blood vessels, improve the flexibility of your arteries, and ensure a better, steadier flow of vital blood to both your heart and your brain. All you need is a handful each day, rotating through different types based on the season, as a precious, intentional gift to your long-term health. Food 3, avocados. When we talk about fat, many women over 50 still carry the outdated fear that all fat is inherently bad for the heart. This fear is one of the most dangerous myths of modern diet. It causes people to miss out on powerful sources of cardiovascular protection. The third food on our list is a shining example of a good fat that your heart, brain, and blood vessels desperately need: avocados. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fat, specifically oleic acid, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil. This type of fat performs a crucial task in your bloodstream. It actively helps to lower the detrimental LDL cholesterol, the bad type that leads to plaque buildup, while simultaneously raising the protective HDL cholesterol, the good type that acts like a street sweeper, clearing away excess cholesterol from your blood vessels. This dual action is essential for clearing and preventing the blockages that are the primary physical cause of heart attacks and strokes, but the real magic of the avocado for blood pressure control lies in its extraordinary potassium content. One medium avocado provides between 700 and 800 milligrams of potassium, which is significantly more than a single banana. Potassium is a critical electrolyte that works to balance the sodium in your body, allowing excess fluid to be released and helping to relax the tension in your blood vessel walls. This effect naturally and gently lowers blood pressure, making avocados an indispensable food for anyone trying to reduce their risk of stroke. A 2022 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association provided a clear quantitative link. Consuming at least 2 servings of avocado each week was associated with a stunning 13% reduced risk of overall cardiovascular disease and an even higher 29% reduced risk of coronary heart disease. I am reminded of Mr. Douglas, a 64-year-old gentleman from the Midwest who was deeply shaken after experiencing a TIA, or a mini stroke. He was determined to change his diet. His typical breakfast was a processed cereal or a buttered toast, which he replaced entirely with half of a mashed avocado on a small piece of whole grain toast, topped with a sprinkle of walnuts. After just 7 weeks of this simple switch, his morning systolic blood pressure dropped from 150/95 to a much healthier 128/80. He also noted that his heart rate felt steadier and he was sleeping more soundly. The avocado not only provided the necessary healthy fats and potassium for his blood vessels, but importantly, satisfied him, making it easier to stick to his new, heart-smart routine. Avocados do something else remarkable. They enhance the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, such as vitamins A, D, E, and K. When you eat avocados alongside other heart-healthy foods, like leafy greens or carrots, your body can absorb up to 15 times more of those beneficial nutrients, amplifying their anti-inflammatory and protective effects. If you are looking for a food that tastes rich and satisfying, is incredibly easy to prepare, and provides clear, evidence-based support for blood vessel health after the age of 50, then the creamy, nutrient-dense avocado is an absolute must-have in your weekly meal plan. Food 4, dark chocolate. The fourth food on this essential list may seem like a delightful indulgence, but when chosen correctly, it is one of the most potent sweet tools you can use to improve blood flow and dramatically reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke. Dark chocolate. I am not talking about the sugary milk chocolate found everywhere. I am referring specifically to dark chocolate with a cacao level of 70% or higher. This is the non-negotiable threshold. This high cacao chocolate is absolutely loaded with powerful plant compounds called flavonols. Flavonols are the key to dark chocolates. Cardiovascular power. They work directly on the lining of your arteries to stimulate the production of nitric oxide, a small but incredibly vital gas. When your body produces more nitric oxide, your blood vessels can do something amazing. They can open up or dilate more easily. This immediate relaxation of the arterial walls instantly improves blood flow, lowers the pressure inside your arteries, and helps to keep your overall blood pressure under control. This mechanism is particularly helpful for women over 50, who frequently grapple with age-related issues like stiff or narrowed blood vessels and chronic hypertension. The improved production of nitric oxide not only helps with blood pressure but also improves how well your blood vessels can stretch and recover, which is key to maintaining a healthy and youthful circulatory system. A comprehensive review of 8 major studies published in the BMJ Journal delivered astounding statistics. Individuals who consumed a small amount of dark chocolate regularly had a 37% lower chance of heart problems and a significant 29% lower chance of suffering a stroke compared to those who did not incorporate it into their diet. This level of risk reduction is almost unheard of for a food that tastes this good. I remember Mrs. Eleanor, a 73-year-old from Oregon who had recently endured a small stroke. Her physician insisted she eliminate almost all sugar and refined starches. Instead of resorting to high-sugar desserts, I advised her to embrace the ritual of 2 small, plain pieces of 75% cacao dark chocolate. Each evening, over 3 months, the difference was clear. Her systolic blood pressure measurement dropped from 142 to 132, and she consistently reported better sleep quality and a greater sense of mental clarity throughout the day. She was satisfying her desire for a sweet treat while actively treating her blood vessels, the key to unlocking this health benefit is choosing the right kind. You must select real dark chocolate with 70% cacao or higher, ideally with minimal added sugar or no milk solids. Many store-bought milk chocolates are nothing more than a mixture of sugar and unhealthy fats, which completely nullify the cardiovascular benefits. Just 10 to 20 grams per day, which is about 2 small squares, is enough to deliver the therapeutic dose of flavonols without adding excessive calories or unnecessarily raising your blood sugar. It should be used as a consistent, daily part of your heart health strategy. Dark chocolate is not merely a snack. It is a powerful, evidence-based component of your plan to prevent heart attack and stroke after 50. Food 5. Garlic. The 5th food on our list is one of the oldest known remedies in human history, a humble root with a powerfully pungent smell that modern science is finally confirming as a stroke prevention powerhouse. Garlic is a staple in kitchens worldwide, but its true power lies in its sulfur compounds, when garlic is chopped or crushed. It releases a potent compound called Allcin. Allcin is what gives garlic its characteristic strong odor and, more importantly, its medicinal properties. It acts as a remarkably effective natural blood thinner. Allcin helps to gently make the blood less viscous, and critically, it works to prevent platelets, the small cell fragments in your blood, from becoming too sticky and clumping together. This action significantly lowers the chance of dangerous clots forming inside your blood vessels. This is the exact mechanism that a low-dose aspirin uses to protect against a second stroke or heart attack, but unlike aspirin, Allcin does not carry the same increased risk of gastrointestinal bleeding. For women over 50, this anti-clotting or antiplatelet effect is incredibly important. As we age, the likelihood of an accidental clot forming rises significantly. A tiny clot traveling through your system and lodging in a small vessel in your brain can result in a TIA or a full-blown ischemic stroke. A clot traveling to the heart can trigger a heart attack. Garlic provides a natural daily defense against this very real threat. Beyond its anti-clotting properties, garlic also helps to lower total cholesterol, gently reduce overall blood pressure, and improve the flexibility of arterial walls. A detailed meta-analysis published in the Journal of Nutrition confirmed that regular consumption of garlic can lower the harmful LDL cholesterol by a significant 10 to 15%. I worked with a 72-year-old gentleman, Mr. Harold from Texas, who had experienced a mild stroke that left him with temporary numbness and speech difficulties. He became intensely focused on preventing a recurrence. Along with his prescribed medications, he adopted a simple daily habit. He would crush 1 single clove of raw garlic and let it rest for 10 minutes to fully release the Allcin. Then mix it with a small amount of olive oil and swallow it every morning. Within 4 months, his follow-up scans showed a remarkable improvement in the markers of blood vessel health. He told me, for the first time in years, I can walk up 2 flights of stairs without feeling winded. I feel like my blood is moving freely again. To get the most Allcin, you must follow a simple preparation rule. Crush or mince the garlic and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before you eat it or cook with it. This resting period allows the Allcin to fully form. You can consume it raw, lightly roasted, or mixed into a salad dressing. If your stomach is sensitive, take it with other food or a healthy fat like olive oil to prevent discomfort. Just 1 crushed clove of garlic a day is a powerful, consistent action you can take to stop sudden heart and brain problems. It is a time-tested, science-backed way to protect your life from an accidental clot. Food 6. Leafy greens. If there is one category of food that forms the absolute backbone of a heart-healthy diet, it is the humble yet essential leafy greens. I am talking about spinach, kale, collard greens, romaine, and Swiss chard. It is no accident that almost every scientifically validated plan designed to prevent heart attack and stroke, such as the DASH or Mediterranean diets, makes greens the centerpiece of the plate. Leafy greens are extraordinarily rich in natural nitrates. When these nitrates are consumed, your body transforms them into, once again, that vital gas, nitric oxide. As we discussed with dark chocolate, this process helps to open up blood vessels, vastly improving blood flow and reducing the shear pressure on your heart. This mechanism is so effective that regular daily intake of leafy greens can greatly reduce the risk of high blood pressure, the single factor responsible for over 80% of all strokes and heart attacks. A comprehensive 23-year study conducted in Australia following over 50,000 individuals concluded that consuming a mere 60 to 80 grams of leafy greens per day could lower the chance of developing heart problems by a significant 12 to 26%. Even participants who already had high blood pressure saw measurable, real-world benefits simply by maintaining a consistent daily intake. Leafy greens also contain high levels of vitamin K, a fat-soluble vitamin that plays a crucial role in protecting your arteries by preventing calcium from depositing in the blood vessel walls. This keeps your arteries flexible and soft, the hallmark of a healthy, youthful circulatory system. They are also packed with antioxidants like lutein, beta-carotene, and vitamin C, which defend the inner lining of your blood vessels from inflammatory damage. Consider the journey of Mrs. Patricia, a 69-year-old woman from Seattle who was hospitalized after a mild stroke brought on by severe dehydration during a summer heat wave. When she committed to her recovery, she made greens an non-negotiable daily habit. She added kale and spinach to her morning smoothie and made sure her lunch included a large raw spinach salad instead of her former habit of a side of white rice. Over an 8-week period, her blood pressure dropped by 14 points, her cholesterol profile improved, and she reported feeling far more focused and energized throughout the day. She wasn't just managing her stroke risk. She was rebuilding the integrity of her blood vessels. The crucial point here is the preparation and the quantity. You need to eat enough and you need variety. Simply boiling a few pieces of cabbage once a week is insufficient. You need raw vegetables in salads, blended greens in smoothies, or lightly steamed greens to preserve the maximum amount of beneficial nitrates and vitamins. And here is a powerful tip. Always eat your greens with a source of healthy fat like olive oil, avocado, or walnuts, which dramatically boosts the absorption of those fat-soluble vitamins. Leafy greens are the strong, non-negotiable foundation of a heart-healthy life. If your goal is to truly prevent heart attack and stroke and maintain strong, flexible blood vessels, this is the one food you should never, ever skip. Food 7. Walnuts. If you are looking for one food that acts as a superfood for both your heart and your brain after the age of 50, the answer is the mighty walnut. Walnuts are not just a crunchy, satisfying snack. They are a nutritional fortress designed to protect you from the serious problems of heart attack, stroke, and cognitive decline. Walnuts are exceptional because they are the only tree nut that provides a significant amount of alpha-linolenic acid, which is the plant-based form of omega-3 fatty acids. Once consumed, your body converts some of this ALA into the highly beneficial EPA and DHA forms. These essential fats are known to powerfully combat systemic inflammation, which is the root cause of plaque formation and arterial stiffness. By reducing inflammation, they help keep plaque buildup at bay and ensure your blood pressure remains steady, but the protection does not stop there. Unlike most other nuts, walnuts contain a high volume of unique polyphenols and are a great source of vitamin E. These compounds work together as powerful antioxidants, actively defending the cells in your blood vessel walls from free radical damage. This defense mechanism is crucial for older adults because the inner lining of blood vessels naturally weakens and becomes more vulnerable over time. Research conducted by Harvard University, which spanned over 20 years and involved more than 210,000 people, found a clear correlation. Individuals who consumed at least 2 servings of walnuts per week lowered their chance of overall heart disease by an impressive 19% and their risk of stroke by 13%. This protective effect was most pronounced in older adults who were already grappling with elevated blood pressure or slightly high cholesterol. I have a patient, Mrs. Rose, a 66-year-old from Michigan, who started having morning spells of dizziness and once, worryingly, had trouble speaking clearly for a few minutes. Tests confirmed she had warning signs of blood flow issues. Determined to regain control, she adopted the simple daily habit of adding 5 to 7 whole walnuts to her morning oatmeal, mixed with berries. After 2 months, her blood pressure had dropped from 148/90 to 130/85, and her cholesterol profile improved, most importantly. The dizzy spells and warning signs vanished completely over the next year. The benefit of walnuts is beautifully dual-purpose. They are not just for the heart. A separate study in Spain demonstrated that older adults who made walnuts a daily habit showed measurable improvements in their ability to focus, better reaction times, and generally maintained sharper cognitive function after 12 months. Walnuts are one of the few foods that are scientifically recognized as being exceptional for both the heart and the brain as we age. You can eat them raw, lightly toasted, or mix them into salads, yogurt, or smoothies. However, remember the golden rule: portion control is key, because walnuts are calorie-dense. A small handful, or about 28 grams a day, is the ideal therapeutic dose. If you are serious about keeping your blood vessels robust and your memory sharp after 60, walnuts must be a daily staple. Food 8. Beetroot. The next food is a common root vegetable, often overlooked, but it possesses the unique, scientifically proven power to lower blood pressure within a matter of hours and dramatically boost blood flow to your brain. Beetroot. Beetroot is a nutritional powerhouse that should be prioritized in the daily meals of older adults. It is perhaps the most rapidly effective natural food for improving circulation. Its power comes from its massive concentration of natural nitrates. As with leafy greens, when these nitrates enter your body, they are quickly converted into powerful nitric oxide. This process forces your blood vessels to relax, immediately improving blood flow and reducing the shear damaging pressure on the heart. The effects are so swift that research from Queen Mary University in London confirmed that drinking beetroot juice can lower systolic blood pressure, the top number, in a mere 3 to 6 hours. Beetroot also contains powerful pigments called betalains, which are responsible for its deep red-purple color. Betalains function as strong, targeted antioxidants, fighting inflammation specifically within the cardiovascular system. Furthermore, beets are an excellent source of folate, a B vitamin that helps lower the level of an inflammatory marker called homocysteine in the blood. Elevated homocysteine is strongly linked to an increased risk of both stroke and heart disease. I received a testimonial from Mrs. Margaret, a 68-year-old patient in California who was struggling to control her blood pressure, even with 2 different prescription medications. After she began drinking a small, concentrated shot of fresh beet juice blended with an apple every morning, her blood pressure showed immediate, consistent stabilization. Her physician was eventually able to safely titrate down one of her medications. She told me the most welcome change was not the numbers, but the feeling of well-being. I no longer feel dizzy when I stand up quickly, and I have a clear, focused energy that lasts all day long. The simplest way to incorporate this superfood is to make a small glass of fresh juice, or lightly steam them and add them to a salad. You can blend beets with fruits like orange, carrot, or apple to mask the naturally earthy taste. Just remember that beetroot may temporarily cause your urine to turn pink or red. This is entirely normal and harmless, simply a result of the betalains being processed by your body. With its incredible power to rapidly improve blood pressure, boost cerebral blood flow, and fight deep inflammation, beetroot absolutely deserves a prized place in your weekly nutritional rotation. If you are serious about stroke and heart attack prevention, this food is a non-negotiable tool. Food 9. Sweet potato. The 9th food is one that has historically been misunderstood and unfairly avoided by people worried about starches and sugar: the sweet potato. The truth is, this root vegetable can be an essential tool in balancing blood sugar, reducing inflammation, and powerfully protecting your blood vessels, particularly when you choose the right varieties. Sweet potatoes have an entirely different nutritional profile than their white potato cousins. They have a medium glycemic load much lower than white rice or refined carbohydrates thanks to their high content of complex fiber and a special type of starch. These elements work in concert to slow down the speed at which sugar enters your bloodstream. This slow, steady release helps to keep your insulin levels stable, drastically reducing the metabolic stress that chronic blood sugar spikes place on your heart and brain. This is incredibly important for women over 50, who have a much higher likelihood of developing insulin resistance or prediabetes. A study published in the journal Clinical Nutrition found that middle-aged adults who ate sweet potatoes at least 3 times a week showed measurable improvements, including a 17% better insulin sensitivity and a 13% lower overall fasting blood sugar compared to those who avoided them. Sweet potatoes are also exceptionally rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. This powerful vitamin helps fight the harmful free radicals that damage the inner lining of your blood vessels and actively calms down chronic low-level inflammation. Furthermore, they contain a good amount of potassium, providing about 12% of your daily requirement in just one medium potato, which helps keep your blood pressure within a safe range. For an extra layer of protection, consider the purple sweet potato. This variety contains a unique set of potent antioxidants called anthocyanins similar to those in berries. These compounds have been scientifically shown to block harmful inflammatory signals in the body, such as IL-6 and TNF-alpha, which are often found at high levels in individuals with clogged arteries or those who have suffered a stroke. A study from Louisiana State University demonstrated the power of the purple variety. Adding purple sweet potatoes to daily meals for 8 weeks measurably improved the body's handling of insulin, lowered systemic inflammation, and improved blood fat levels. In that trial, the bad LDL cholesterol dropped by 15%, triglycerides fell by 18%, and the systolic blood pressure dropped by an average of 9 points. Mrs. Donna, a 63-year-old former office accountant, shared that she often felt a crushing mid-afternoon fatigue after eating a sandwich or white rice lunch. She made the switch to a baked sweet potato for her lunch instead of refined carbs. The result was remarkable. She reported feeling lighter, more mentally clear, and her doctor noted a much more stable blood pressure reading. A surprising side benefit was that she also lost 3 kilograms without having to resort to a strict punishing diet. The best way to consume sweet potatoes is to steam or bake them. Avoid frying and loading them with butter or marshmallows. The orange varieties are excellent for beta-carotene, and the purple ones are fantastic for fighting inflammation. They are a delicious, trusted, and highly effective replacement for white, refined carbohydrates, and they are a powerful friend to anyone over 50 who wants to prevent heart attack and stroke. Food 10, ginger. We have arrived at the final food on our list. It may seem like a simple spice used only for flavoring, but it is a natural, potent shield for your blood vessels, proven to fight the silent, dangerous swelling that builds up inside your bloodstream. Ginger. Ginger is a staple in most kitchens, but its medicinal properties are often underestimated, especially its crucial role in preventing stroke and heart attack in older adults. The secret to ginger's power lies in its active compound, gingerol, which is responsible for its strong, spicy flavor and its therapeutic effects. Gingerol is a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant agent. It actively helps to combat damage and swelling inside the body, which is essential for maintaining the health of the endothelium, the inner lining of your arteries. Furthermore, ginger is a natural circulatory aid. It helps to keep blood moving better by gently relaxing the blood vessels and making the blood less sticky, which significantly lowers the chance of dangerous clots forming inside the arteries. A major 2020 study published in the journal Nutrition tracked over 4,600 adults and found a compelling link. Individuals who consumed ginger every day had a notable 13% lower risk of overall heart problems compared to those who did not include it in their diet. Ginger also acts on your blood fat profile. It has been shown to help manage and control both LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, particularly in individuals whose diets are higher in fats. A separate study in Iran found that participants who took 2 grams of ginger powder every day for 12 weeks saw their triglycerides drop by 17% and their bad LDL cholesterol drop by 8%. Perhaps most remarkably, ginger can also help lower blood pressure by blocking a specific enzyme in the body, working through a similar pathway to some prescription blood pressure drugs. For women over 50, this natural relief on the cardiovascular system is priceless, as it takes critical pressure off the heart and helps prevent sudden stroke events. Mr. Arthur, a 71-year-old patient from Arizona, is a clear success story. After a mild stroke, his doctor warned him about a high chance of a recurrence within 6 months. Alongside his adjusted medication, he made 2 core changes. He cut down on sodium and began drinking fresh ginger tea every single morning. 6 months later, his blood tests showed lower CARP, marker for inflammation, a much improved blood fat profile, and his doctor confirmed a significantly reduced risk of a second stroke. Ginger is an example of simplicity being best. You can use the fresh root, sliced thin into tea, or crushed into soups, stews, and smoothies where it is often mixed with beetroot and berries for a synergistic effect. You can also use it in powder or capsule form if you prefer a steady, measured dose. The general safe limit is no more than 4 grams per day. If you are already taking blood-thinning medicine, you must speak to your doctor before making daily ginger consumption a regular habit in the world of foods that prevent heart attack and stroke. A small, consistent piece of ginger every day can make a life-changing difference. We have now journeyed through 10 powerful and natural foods that can serve as your most effective defense against heart attack and stroke after the age of 50. Each of these foods works in its own unique, scientifically validated way to protect you by keeping your blood vessels clean and flexible, reducing systemic inflammation, naturally balancing blood pressure, supporting cognitive clarity, and slowing down age-related deterioration. Remember, the goal is not to try and eat all 10 foods every single day. That approach is overwhelming and unsustainable. The most important thing is not simply remembering every detail. It is about turning this knowledge into a sustainable, consistent habit. Your action plan is simple. Choose at least 3 to 5 of these foods that work for your taste and your lifestyle and make them a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. You can start your morning with a glass of beetroot juice or warm ginger tea. Your breakfast could be oatmeal topped with walnuts and a handful of berries. Lunch can easily include a large spinach salad with half an avocado and a drizzle of olive oil. Dinner can be made heart-smart by adding a bit of raw, crushed garlic to your meal or having a side of baked sweet potato. And if you need an afternoon pick-me-up, 2 squares of dark chocolate will satisfy your craving while actively nourishing your blood vessels. Do not treat this food like medicine that you dread. Treat it like a partner in your health journey, a source of true joy and vitality. Every right, intentional food choice you make today brings you one step closer to robust, long-term health over the next 10, 20, or even 30 years. For women over 50, this is not just something optional. It is a powerful, necessary reclamation of your health and independence. If you have already experienced a mini-stroke, if you are struggling with high blood pressure or high cholesterol, or if you simply want to live longer and feel your absolute best, start today with these simple, proven foods. You do not need complicated plans or restrictive, punishing diets. You need consistency, the right knowledge, and the commitment to stick with it long enough to see the beautiful results. You now have the knowledge. Now it is time to turn that knowledge into action. Start with your next meal. If you found this video helpful and empowering, please take a moment to click the like button so YouTube knows you care about heart health after 50, and so we can reach more women who need this critical information. And do not forget to hit subscribe and the little bell icon so you will not miss easy-to-follow, science-backed health tips like this every single week. In the comments section below, share with me which one of these 10 foods you are already using to protect your heart and brain, or which one you are going to add this week. Your experience might be the single thing that helps someone else who is just starting this journey. Who knows? If you do not know where to begin, just leave a comment saying I am ready, and I will pin a simple, one-day meal plan that you can start using tomorrow.